Hi everyone, it's Liz from Crafting with Nani. How is, I believe it's a Monday. That's how you can tell how kind of day I'm having. It's like, don't know if it's Friday or Monday. So I think it's Monday. Anyways, you see that red live button, that means we're live. And if it's not red, that'll mean you're watching a replay, and that's okay. I always go back and I read comments, so if you'll do a hashtag replay, I'll say hi to you. And then after the 30 days, I always post them over onto the tube as well. So if you miss it and you want to see it, you can go over there and find it. And I just realized that I got my shirt on again. I got to get some different shirts because I'm already wearing my cow shirt already. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Estella. Thank you for coming in. How are you? I love your name, Estella. Reminds me of just like an old-fashioned name. I love it. Anyways, we're working on the Journal Pals journal because I'm going to be gone for so much of this month that I wanted to get this done, and so I'm not pressured to get it done when I get back. Hi, Sarah. How are you? And Mary, how are you? So I did the Roy Rogers, and we did the busted canvas or the busted book look, so that way you could see the front of the little golden book. It's a golden book updo or redo, whatever we're calling them these days. And this is the material that was sent to everybody in the Junk Journal Jamboree for the Journal Pals event. And we all got either a red or a blue, and I do believe there was a mixed color, but I chose the blue. And then we just covered the book, and I can't believe this is already the third one. Hi, Lori, how are you today? This is our third video on this one already. So we added the ropes to the front cover last time, and I really didn't do a lot off camera. I did do a couple little things. Hi, Barb, how are you? I'm going to turn the camera down now so you guys can see the, hi, Penny, see what we're doing. So hopefully I don't lose anybody, and we'll just move the camera down, and hopefully we see. Hi, Carol, how are you? Yes, we're using a lot of Carol's pages. Carol sent me a happy mail, and it just went so perfect with this journal that most of the ephemera pieces and stuff that we're adding came from Carol. So thank you, Carol. So it's really fun to see it, and it's fun to put something that somebody gives you into something, you know. To me, it just means a lot. I would love to start that, like pick somebody and you just put a little envelope together and then I have to create with it. That would be so fun to do. So that's kind of what I'm doing here with Carol's stuff is it was just perfect for this book. So we can kind of flip through the pages that we already did. So we did this last time, I think the only thing we got done on the first day of the event was actually getting it sewed in, and I didn't even get it all the way sewed in because I ran out of time. But we did made a little side pocket here, and then another little side pocket, and I added a little lace to that, and I love these little piggies. And I made this little belly band, and Carol even sent this little heart that's punched out. And then I was watching Just Crafting with Jamie too the other night. We all kind of watch her. And she made a one-page wonder. And I made the one-page wonder, but it didn't come out exactly the same way. So I just kind of put a little tag in here and a little tag in there and a little tag on there. And since I have it to where it's on all sides, I decided to put it in the belly band. So that way you can pull it out and do what you want with it. And then we, last time we were on, we made this cute little kind of an old-time photo picture, and we have a pocket there. And then that's pretty much, I think, We added this guy to that, and then I added the cow, and I think the last thing I remember doing, I added some of my red dirt lace to that, but I think I made a little bundle over here, and that's kind of what I did over the weekend, is I just put a couple of little bundle things in it. So we can start working on kind of where I left off. And I did, like I said, I did do, this is just a pocket with this gentleman. We put him on. And this is a pocket, but with a lace. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to decorate my bag or not. And Carol, I did put a couple of these bags in the mail for you. And then, so we have the back of this sheep that we need to work on. And I love that sheep. We don't have any sheep on the ranch. And for anybody that's, hi Jamie, how are you? Hi Teresa, thank you for coming on. Oh, thank you for kicking out my cow patties. And I was just getting ready to say, for anybody that's new, that might not know my page or my life, we live on a ranch in West Texas, and it's a little cattle ranch. And we have a lot of fun. We're, you know, kind of fairly new at the ranch kind of life. You know, we've always lived in California. So we all jumped in and said, yes, let's do it. So I think this horse looks great on that page. I do have it printed out smaller, and I'm just trying to see if this one might be too small. It's the same picture, just two different sizes. So I think we're going to cut down this and put it here, because if not, this is too small. So we'll use the bigger one. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Something I could do for you that you just, every week she sends me something almost. So this is 5 3/4 wide. And I think they're 8 inches tall, but let me just double check. Yeah, not quite 8 inches, 7 3/4. So what did I say, 5 3/4? I know it's a junk journal, you're not supposed to have to measure, but sometimes you just do. My nose is itchy. I think it's because I was out making dyeing lace. Any of you guys know I do red dirt dyed lace, and like this, and cheesecloth. And I haven't had a sale in a couple of weeks because I going on this road trip, and I didn't want to have anything left over, you know, while I was on the trip, you know, kind of deal. So I didn't want to have to deal with shipping, you know, like while I'm gone, or payments, or all that kind of good stuff. So I am taking some stuff, so if you're going to be at Jimmy Lou's retreat at the Messy Craft Corner in West Virginia, I am going to take some stuff. She said that I could, 7 3/4, yep. I could sell some of the red dirt stuff there, so that'll be fun. So we needed it. My little brain already lost it. 5 3/4 wide. So I'm going to go this way with it. So, because I got to cut off that white anyways. 5 3/4. Ooh, that's just about his head. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and cut here, and we'll take off a little bit on the other side, because we don't want to chop off his little ear. So this horse looks very close to my horse. Same colors. I have a Mustang. He's not a wild Mustang, even though he thinks he is, but he's not. He's just got himself quite a bit of attitude, and he's not tattooed, as if any horse person would know. Mustangs, 100% wild Mustangs, are all tattooed. He's not, because he's not full-blooded Mustang. His mom was something else. Or his dad, I'm not quite, I think his mom was. I got him as a 13-year-old from a friend, and she got him, her daughter got him when he was a 2-year-old, I think. So we're gonna put this page on this. Can everybody see? Do I need to go down farther? Hi, Linda Martin. How are you? Oh, I'm going to love it. Oh, my goodness. I want to dye all your stuff. No. I had my hands in the mud today. I'm telling you. It's a crazy. I'm going to go ahead and just put the whole page on here. So I'm just going to glue it all over. This book has a lot of pockets already, and I just think this is a beautiful horse. My horse has the diamond or the star going down his head that's white, and I can't tell if this horse on this picture has it because of the way his head is facing. It doesn't appear to have any, but he could. But he looks a lot like, well, this one actually looks like a mare because I don't see nothing hanging down under him. So mine is definitely not a mare. I don't know if I remember telling you guys or not. When we first moved to the ranch, we were here a little while. My daughter got a paint horse, which is, you know, the black and whites, and well, hers are black and white, and her name was Lucy. Well, Johnny, which is my horse, Johnny Thunderpants is his name. I have a picture over here of him, but he stuck his little nose where it didn't belong, because, you know, he's a boy horse, and he stuck his nose where it didn't belong. And Lucy went all and kicked the living tar out of him and busted his jaw. So he lost almost 700 pounds, and he almost didn't make it. He really almost didn't make it. And we called the vet out, and I told that vet, I said, I can't lose my horse. And he's like, oh man. You know, in Texas, you know, they just put him down, you know, kind of deal. Well, he means the world to me. I mean, he's everything to me. So he ended up in ICU at Texas A&M after a good few weeks of intensive care here and at the vet's house here in Texas. Or, you know, on the ranch or close by. But anyways, he's back to, it took a good year for him to get over that, you know, get healed, because it was they had to put his jaw back together, you know. But he learned to keep his nose out of where it belongs. So this one does have a little bit of the page from the before. So I think I might trim it down just a little bit. But yeah, so when Johnny got hurt, man, I'm telling you, I was going crazy, because he was a spoiled California boy, you know. And I thought I was going to lose I just really thought I was going to lose it, you know. So, but he's healthy and he's good, and he's not, with my age being 68 now, and he has quite, you know, he's one of those horses. You see those crazy videos out there, you know, where the horse, you know, they're showing, you know, the horse sees a leaf that falls and the horse starts going crazy and stuff. Well, that's my horse. You know, some days he's just as calm as can be, and the other days he's like a crazy man. So I at the age now where, you know, I can't really take a fall. I have severe osteoporosis, which is getting reversed, and I'm so happy about that. So I'm not quite sure I can call it severe anymore. And but I just I don't get up on a saddle. Is what I'm trying to say is that I don't ride him anymore, because I can't afford to take a fall. And my daughter sold her horses, and my grandson has his still, but I don't really like to ride by myself, and my grandson does, you know, work with his horse, and it's okay. he's happily living in my backyard, and I love waking up in the mornings and seeing him, and I'm happy just watching him, taking good care of him. So he's 20 years old now, so, or 22 years old, or somewhere around there. So let me see, did I miss anything? Yeah, don't mess with Texas, that's for sure. And don't put your nose where it don't belong. And I'm telling you, she just walloped the living tar out of him. And we saw it happen. I mean, we were like, it was within seconds, you know, of them kind of meeting. And they ended up being the best buddies. And she never really did it again, but I don't think he kind of put his nose where it didn't belong after that either. So he did learn his lesson. But Lucy ended up getting sold, and she was old too. And I think I like this with the coffee dyed paper behind it, framing it out. So I don't think I'm going to distress it. I think I like that. I'm just wondering if I should, she stood her power as a woman. She sure did. She taught him a lesson like he never heard before. Because where he came from before, he was in a different kind of stable. We had like free stables at our old house. And the horses had to be kind of separated, you know. So he wasn't used to having a horse where he could actually reach, you know, to get his nose. He had a girlfriend next door to him, but it was just, you know, one of those things. But yeah, he learned his lesson real quick, and he had to be tube fed. And like I said, he lost like 700 pounds, which is a lot. I mean, he was bones, just bone. There's just a little bit of white showing right there, and kind of don't like it, but I'm making a mess. Should have left it alone. But anyways, he's all good now. And he gets along with like the dogs, and he loves the cattle that are right by him. Hi Karen, thank you for coming in. Hi Debbie, how are you? I know, we actually won the football game. I think we're 2-2. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I think we are 2-2 now, so all's good. I don't expect them to go to the Super Bowl because they've been, you know, let somebody else have fun, right? But I don't want to watch them, you know, they get paid too much money to, you know, sit there and whine, drop balls all over the place, but at least they won the game. And that's what it's about. That looks pretty on here. And I'm trying really hard to make sure that we're not using anything that wouldn't have been in Roy Rogers' time on TV. So far we haven't seen whether or not there was any tractors or anything like that yet. So I haven't put anything in there because any of the pictures that are in the book doesn't show anything, any kind of sign of any power tools or anything like that. So we have this center here, and I do have a cute little, this boot that I'm going to hang down on this dangle here. So let's find something cute to put in the center. So did everybody have a good, oh, you're talking about Dallas, and I didn't watch the Dallas and Green Bay. Did Green Bay win or did Dallas? I don't know. I kind of was watching something else, and I didn't see the Green Bay game. My husband was watching it. Hi, Cruz. How are you? But did Green Bay win? I don't know. Jamie didn't come on last night to tell me, so I don't know if they won. I do like this kitty cat and the mouse because my kitty cat is always bringing me mice. And we already used him, but we can use him again. And these are just papers that have background on them. So we have the bread, and this came from Lisa Siegel. And I kind of have them for my 1800s journal. But we can use them in here. We have this fireplace that we could put. I might have to print out some more pictures. I might have to. There's some red dirt paper. We do have this other cow, horse. I know the difference. I know the difference between my horses and my cows. I thought I had more cow pictures. Here's some cows with a dog. So we can have the dog and we can have the cat. So let's cut those down. 40 to 40. It ended up as a tie. That was I missed a good game then, that's for sure. That's what I like about football, is that you can have a tie. So they must have gone into overtime twice, didn't they? Or don't they do an overtime twice? I don't know. When I think I know I football, it change, then I don't. I grew up with 3 brothers, so I kind of know a little bit about it, but I didn't really like football until I was older, and somebody was asking me, I think it was Jamie, like, why do you like Kansas City Chiefs? And I said, I like Kansas City Chiefs because I like Joe Montana. And he was Kansas City Chiefs. So I go back with Kansas City Chiefs way back. So I think that's going to be really pretty on here. We'll have to cut a little bit more off of it. So we'll take a little more off the top and the bottom. Let's cut this one out too. They tied, yeah. That's what I like about football, is they can tie. Well, my uncle that I'm going to go see, Janet's husband, which is my stepmom's brother, they're a Green Bay fan, so at least I won't have to, at least he'll be happy when I go visit him. But when we used to live in our little town, when we lived all at the same little town, he had a Green Bay flag, and he would put that Green Bay flag up, and if they didn't win, he'd take that flag down. He would be so upset. I don't have a Kansas City flag, so I'm not that involved in it. But I do have one of the Kansas City little helmets, and my husband is a Cowboys fan, so we have a cowboy helmet, and then I had one more left, and it was a Green Bay, and I'm taking it to my friend Jamie, my little Green Bay fan, and I'm bringing it to her in Wisconsin, or in West Virginia, so that'll be fun. So she can have a little Green Bay helmet for her car if she wants to keep it in her car. Maybe she can flip it upside down when they play Kansas City Chiefs. No. One of my good girlfriends, her team is the Chargers. And we went to a football game together, and they were playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and I felt so out of place because felt like I was the only person in the stadium that had a red Kansas City Chiefs jersey on. Hi, Della, how are you? And I was like just sitting there on the side and everybody's yelling for the Chargers, and I'm the only one there going chop a chop 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 for the for the Kansas City Chiefs side. And I thought my girlfriend would have thought I was going to get attacked. So I just need to take a little bit more off the bottom, but I think I'm gonna cut it with this and see if we can get some cute siding on it. You know, just something cute. Actually, I do have my little scissors somewhere. This is a nice tool to have, but boy, when you're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the end, it is a little harder to use than trying to rip a full page. So let's just take a little bit more off the top. Green and gold. Yeah, I used to have, well, I think I might still have it somewhere, is my Kansas City, heavy-duty Kansas City jacket. And my husband has a heavy-duty cowboy jacket. And we used to wear those together. And but now that we live in Texas, all we ever really get to see on TV is, here in Texas, they just like to show their Texas team. That looks good. So let's take some off for the cat too. Yeah, the green and gold for, there's a lot of Green Bay out there that like it, huh? A lot of cheese heads. I think, where was I that I actually, I think we saw the stadium one time when we were traveling once. I know I've seen the Kansas City Chiefs stadium from the high, you know, from the distance. Didn't go in it, but and I will be seeing it again on my way back from my trip because I'm going to Missouri. And a lot of people think that Kansas City is from Kansas, and it's not. It's the Missouri. But I think that looks cute there. So let me just distress it a little bit, and we'll glue those on. So I can't believe a bunch of ladies are talking about football. So what else are we going to talk about? Hi, Jill. How are you? Oh, I could tell you today's my my baby grandson 20th birthday. I don't know where time has gone. He was the cutest, still cute, but he was the funniest, cutest little boy ever. And when he was little, like just learning to talk, he had his own language. And he was the youngest of 5. And usually, you know, the youngest of 5 is hard to talk because everybody talks for them. You know, they never get to say anything because everybody else is answering those questions for him. But he had such a speech problem that my daughter had to get like a specialist. You know, the school couldn't figure out what he was saying. Nobody could understand him. And it was hard. It was tough. It was tough trying to figure out what he wanted. And it was cute because, like I said, he had his own language. And we were trying to figure out what it was. She had a couple of specialists, like when he went into kindergarten, you know, like preschool or kindergarten, I think it was. I don't know if he went to pre-K or not. But they ended up getting a specialist, and then the specialist had to call in a specialist because the specialist couldn't figure it out. So she called in a specialist. And it turned out that he didn't say consonants. All he was saying was vowels. He didn't and his name was Cody, so he would call himself Owie. And like the kids would come over to the house and say, can Obi come out and play? And we're like, there isn't anybody here named Obi. But Cody can come out, and it just never really hit us until afterwards. They said, he doesn't say any consonants. So he ended up having to go to like speech therapy, and he went for quite a while, because if he would get excited kind of deal or want to speak too fast, he would revert back to not saying consonants. He would go back, and he had like the cutest sounding voice, and it was just, I mean, we kind of laugh at him once, we don't really making fun of him, but it was cute. It was fun, and like some of the sayings that he would say. Now, when you look back on it, it just was so sweet, But I can't remember if he was tongue-tied too. I don't know. I was tongue-tied. My daughter was tongue-tied, and a couple of her kids were tongue-tied. But anyways, it's just, I can't believe he's 20 now. And I posted pictures on my page of him. He's a cowboy, so he likes to ride horses and stuff. And anyways, he's turning 20, which makes me feel really old today. But like I said, I know he's my youngest grandson, but I'm trying to think if my son's daughter, I think she's older than him, so I think he is the last. I think he is the last baby. But, oh well, they gotta grow up, right? So do I want this horse here? I am going to have to print some more pages, or I can steal some of them out of my other box I have for my 1800. So let's go ahead and trim off this. And since I'm doing that, I might as well save myself the stress, and I'll just do it like that. Where did I get the jagged edge ruler from? I got this from one of Jimmy Lou's sales that she had on the Messy Craft Corner, and I think she charged a couple dollars for it, and I've used it a lot. So you'd have to message Jimmy Lou and ask her where she got it. I don't know if she's on or not. If she is, I didn't see her come on. Hi Lynn, how are you today? Thanks for coming in. I'm just scrolling back to see if Jimmy Lou has popped in or not. I told her I was coming on, so I don't know if she got me into the Junk Journaling Jamboree or not. But I should have my apron on that I made. But the jagged ruler, I know they sell them in a couple of different places, but this one I happened to get. I got from Jimmy Lou, one of Jimmy Lou's sales. You got it from Amazon, Carol? Okay. So it looks like you can get them from Amazon. But it does make it nice when you're just ripping, if you got more to hold on to. When you don't have a lot to hold on to, they're not very easy to use. I will say that. But if you have enough to grab, then they work really nice. You just got to put a little bit of pressure down, and it rips really easily. And it actually works better than those scissors, because the scissors stop right here, and then you got to line it back up to go to the next section. So I think this actually works a little bit better than the scissors. I mean, I'm not sure how many different, how many different ones you can get of this if they sell, more than just this one. Now this ruler on here is definitely probably in centimeters, because it's not in inches or anything. Because this says 0 to 1, I would assume that's a centimeter. Hi Maritza, how are you? Yours was in a pack of 3, so okay, that's kind of cool, because then you could get 3 different types. I like that. So I am going to go around the edge and distress this one, because you can see the whites where I ripped it. And we don't want that white peeking through. We want it to look aged. But I cannot believe that my trip is coming up so fast. I mean, I'm leaving my house on the 8th. And my first stop is in Memphis. And I'm trying my hardest. I think I'm going to see Lindy Tate and Mr. T. And I might be seeing Michael from Chris and Michael Laugh Out Loud. I think Michael's going to be there, so I might be able to see him too. So we're trying to make that work. I'm staying in a hotel that's only a few miles away from Lindy and Mr. T's house. So we're trying to make it work. I think that'll be so much fun. And then from there, I'm going to go see Justin from Just Craftin', or the Crafty Brother, or Just Craftin'. He's got a couple of pages now. So, and then from there, I'm going to go see my aunt and my uncle. And then from there, we're going to West Virginia to go to the retreat. And then from there, I'm going to leave there and go see my girlfriend in Missouri because they're building a new house and I want to see it. And then I'm coming home. And I'm doing all of this road tripping all by myself. And I just looked to see how my spare tire was. And turns out I don't have a spare tire. I have a compressor, which I did not know I had. But I don't have a spare tire. So I thought, well, what good is a compressor if I don't even have a tire? So, oh, well, I have Auto Club, so I'm all good. I'm going as far as to West Virginia from Texas. So, and almost all of it has to do with seeing people that I met through Facebook, other than my close friend that I lived with, or not lived with, but lived in the same town, and my aunt. But other than that, everybody is from, that I've met online. So I have this little piece, and all I did was fold over the flaps, because we used those somewhere in the book to make bigger pictures. So I have that, and then Carol sent these really neat papers, and I just flipped them over and made little pockets for those. And then, like I said, I made this little bundle out of, this is leftovers from the quilt piece. And then I just sewed on a button, and that isn't even attached. And but I just sewed in with the wax thread. And then on this side, I kind of did the same thing, and I put this old button and I sewed it on. And this is a piece of the paper that came off of a button from my grandma's button box. You think I should have a spare? Well, I don't know. Because I don't even have a spare wheel. So, I mean, I'd have to go buy the wheel and the tire. So, I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, my tires are pretty good. But I don't know what to do. So we have this one. This is a little pocket, and we can notch it out and make it a little pocket. And I got my oil change and all that good stuff. So what are we gonna? We have to put something on this. This is part of that envelope that we put in there, and all we have is this on it. So I think I might just add some lace to it on both sides, but that don't fit. And let's see what this looks like on there. So that'll be cute, and it's just the perfect size, and we can put it on both sides. And then I can trim down a little bit of this red, this orange, and maybe put in there just to make like a little cluster on it. So that might be cute. Hi, Roberta. How are you today? How's your day going? Does anybody have any fun plans for this week? Can't believe it's already the end of September. And we're still having 90-degree weather. It's just, this has those little tiny eyelashes on them. So, I'm just trying to see if I can line it up, and we'll use a little fabric tack for that. I think I'll do fine. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is the older I am, the harder it is for me to see after dark. And because I do see mono, one eye sees far away and one eye sees close up, I can't tell very easily whether the car that's coming head on at me is in my lane or not. So I don't like, if I'm driving like in a highway, like a regular freeway or a highway where there's like a divider, then it doesn't bother me as bad. But if I'm just on like a little 2-lane highway, I can't tell if that car is in my lane or not. And it's not fun to drive like that. Believe me. So that'll just determine how far I can drive per day. But I've driven from here to where I used to live in California, and it's like a 14-hour drive, 14-hour drive without traffic. And I've done it in a day. I do it all the time in a one-shot deal. So I think I'm gonna be fine. It's the only difference is that I'm used to those highways, and it's pretty flat. So I have a feeling that I am going to be traveling into the mountains. So that's a little bit concerning for me, is, you know, how I'm going to do driving not flat. You know, Texas is darn flat. I'm telling you right now. People in Texas will say, "Oh, it's over there by that mountain," and you're like, "What mountain?" I don't see a mountain anywhere. So they're like, they think they're little hills or mountains, but once they really see a mountain, they're like, "Oh, that's not a mountain, is it?" But I just don't know. Like, I can't really determine how many miles I'm really gonna get until I see like the highways and what's happening. I do think it needs a little more color on it. So I'm not sure what I want to put. I do have these cute little flowers that I dyed. And I can put like maybe a couple of these small ones in there. We'll go from there and see what that looks like. But I am so excited to see all you guys that are coming, and I know that's the hard part, is, you know, I don't feel my age, and that's my problem too, is like in my head I still think of myself as, you know, well, I used to always say I'm 45, but now that my kids are older than me, no, I can't say that anymore. But I don't feel, until I look in a mirror, I don't feel like I'm in my 60s, you know. So I'm thankful for that. And so it's hard, you know, when I look in a mirror, or like, you know, after I work out or I fall or do something, then I'm like, oh, maybe I am older. But I have a young mind, is what I guess I'm trying to say, is like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just feel like I'm not old. And then I have to like go, yes, you are. It's like right now I have 2 5-gallon jugs of water in my car. I already got one out. but they're like, water's heavy. And you get 5 gallons of it, and I think it's almost 40 pounds of water each. And I'm like, oh, I got to carry 2 more in. But I thought, I'm going to wait. I already carried 1, so. I don't think I'm going to, like, I have my roads planned. So from here to Memphis is 12 hours. A little bit. Maybe a little bit more than 12 hours. So I'm going to leave here like at 6 in the morning or whatever, and I'll get there by 6 at night. So that one, I won't have any. And then the rut from Memphis to Galax, Virginia, is like another 12-hour drive or 11-hour drive. So then I should be able to get to where I'm staying by Justin's house early enough to not be having to drive in the dark. And then when I leave there to go see my aunt in Virginia, because they're both in Virginia, it's like a 6-hour drive. So then from her house to West Virginia, I think is like another 8-hour drive or something like that. So it won't be too bad. So the only other long distance drive I have is leaving West Virginia and going back to Missouri. So that one is going to be a little bit tough, and I'll just have to see how the roads are, and, you know, I might have to stop on that one. I wasn't planning on it, but, you know, by then I should know what my roads are like and all that good stuff, and we'll play that one by ear. And then it's like an 11-hour drive, 10-hour drive from her house back to my house. So that one won't be too bad either. So the only really tough one I have is driving from the retreat to Missouri. So I'm trying to decide. I kind of like this orange in here, like this red barn color. Hi, Bev. How are you? Thanks for hopping on. How is it over there today? And then the blue picks up. So I think this is a good choice to use on this page. So let's measure and see what we need. And I'm telling you, it takes a... Oh, there's my aunt right there. What happened to those guys on the ranch? Well, those guys on the ranch are doing ranch work, and I don't really count as ranch work. So... I'm sure, you know, they get paid to do jobs, and I don't like it when I pull them off of jobs to do my work. So, if I need it. They were supposed to start my fence today, and I ain't seen one of them over here doing it, so it's supposed to be done by tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm hoping. As I'm trying to get it to where my dogs can go out without my husband having to chase them down, because he won't be able to do that. So my son-in-law said it would be done by Tuesday. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Just going to trim this a little bit here too. But yeah, I like to do the stuff I can do, just so I keep my strength up a little bit. But I just have to, you know, pace myself. I can't, you know, be thinking I can do everything all at one time anymore. So I don't want to say I'm stubborn, because I'm not really stubborn. What retreat am I going to? We're going to the retreat that Jimmy Lou's putting on from the Messy Craft Corner, and it's Take Me Home, I think. It's called Take Me Home. We can make this into a pocket too. And she still has some, if you message the Messy Craft Corner, she still has some spots available for it. And I get to teach a class, and Carrie Hall from Hanging with Mama Hall is teaching a class. So both of us are getting to teach a class in it. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be fun. So I like that. And then I'm thinking we have this leftover, and we can notch that out and make a little pocket with that and glue that on. Yeah, see, you still live Amber, and we won't tell how old you're turning on the 20th. My aunt has got grandchildren, and I mean grandchildren, the same age as my great-grandchildren. Something happened there. I'm not quite sure what, but something happened in Denmark. Because her son and I are about the same age. And I got grandkids, and he's got kids. So, something happened in Denmark on that one. But yeah, Janet, my aunt, she takes care of her grandkids, and she's, can I say you're in your over 70s? She's going to kill me when I get there. But I think that'll be cute there. So let's glue that down. And we can make this a side tuck too. So it'll be a side tuck and a pocket. So no, I can't say. Okay, I won't say how old then. But I will say she's older than my husband. If anybody knows how old my husband is. But yeah, it's like I try to make sure that I can still do stuff. As long as I can do it, I'm going to try and do it. So I'm just putting glue around 3 sides. And I would show you better, but we all know I can't glue a straight line, so. Hope I never get pulled over on this trip, because I can't walk a straight line either, because I can't see a straight. I used to have a letter that I had from the eye doctor to explain to any police officer that I can't really walk a straight line because I can't see a straight line. But I've lost that letter over the years. And I think that will tuck in there nicely. Great-grandchildren are the best. We're about the same age, I think, Ritza. We're going on number 7 of great-grandchildren. Number 7 will be born in February. Crazy. Crazy how they multiply. They multiply so fast. I mean, we have 8 living grandchildren left, so we could have lots of babies. We had 10, but we've lost 2. So that's cute. I like that. And we can distress a little bit. I should have done this before I had it open. Just put a little color back there behind that. How's that? And we still have 8 minutes. All right. So I like that. That's cute. So there's a pocket here and a pocket there. And then this is some colored paper that was sent. And I'm not sure how Carol did the paper. I don't know how she distressed it. So she's still on, and she wants to say she can. So I think I did use this cowboy once, but I like him, and I'm going to use him again. Because I think he's handsome. So let's tear up this, and I will have to print some more pages because I've used almost everything that Carol sent me. And I still have a whole signature left to do. So I might have to get into Lisa made a whole bunch of really pretty stuff for me too. So for the other journal that I'm working on, the 1800 farm journal. And so I might have to get into that and steal some of that stuff for this one. But I know I ended up doing 2 journals kind of almost alike in a row. I'm working on my feed bag journal, you know, the 1800, and then a feed bag journal. And then I started this one for the Journal Pals. So it's like I ended up with 2 journals that are pretty close to being. But this is what I love. I love the ranch style, and I love the old stuff. You have 4 older siblings. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I have my brother. He passed away last year. My oldest brother, and well, that was silly. Now I have to tear it a little bit. His children are the same age. Some of his children are the same age as my children, but some of his children, because he had another set of children, are the same age as my grandchildren. So I told him, I said, boy, don't you know what caused that problem? And look at the colors of it. Just pulls out this pink color off of this so well. So let's distress it. Yeah, Adela, the same way. I've got family members that were late. You know, like I said, my oldest brother's first daughter is about 3 months younger than my son. So they grew up together for a while, you know, at the same age. And I was the youngest grandchild to give birth to the first great grandchild in our family tree. And then but now I have, like, I can't, you know, when you sit there and you think about how time has gone by, I can't believe that we're now the great grandparents. You know, it's like I literally remember, you know, like I said, giving birth to the first great grandchild. It's like now I've got great grandchildren, and it's like time just flew by. I don't know how. I've been with my husband for 40 years. It's just crazy how time's flying. I think Janet's been with you, and Gary have been together over 60 years, right, Janet? Crazy. But I like that, and I think our time is gonna be done. So let me bring you up so we can say goodbye. I want to kind of go over what we did today. And like I said, I'm gonna have to print out some more stuff because we still have a few pages to do in the other journal. And I do want to put, like I said, I have, where'd they go on my desk? For the second signature, I'm going to put this little silver cowboy boot on, and I have this feather. So I'm going to hang that from the ties from the second journal. And then on the first journal, I'm going to hang this boot off of that centerpiece. So those will be the dangles hanging off where, you know, I have my signatures tied together. So where we have this cat and stuff, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, my husband is 18 years older than me, so it's like, I was warned about that. And I didn't listen, apparently. But now I'm going, oh my, he's old. No. But it's okay. So everybody, I hope you have a great week. Like I said, I won't be having a sale on Thursday this week because I won't have time to get anything out. And I will see you guys all on Friday, and we'll either finish up this one. If I don't finish it up during the week, I'll show it to you anyways. And like I said, this book is for sale. and the proceeds of this will go to my church for my for the rodeo fund. So if anybody wants this, you just need 61 years then. You just message me and make me an offer for it, because this is going to go to the church, because Jimmy Lou likes us to give at least 10%, and I like to give all of it if I can. So like I said, this one will be up for sale. So I will talk to everybody on Friday. I'll see you guys all on everybody else's pages, and I can't wait for this vacation to start. Talk to you soon. Thank you for crafting with Nani. Have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.